be fucked up. Do something. Get the fuck up and do something. I'll blow your motherfucking life to fucking shambles. You got me fucked up.
Shut the door, bro.
Pussy ass bitch. Real motherfucking talk. You wanna be a gangster? Let's do some gangster shit. Let's go. Get up. Let's go. I wanna blow your shit out so motherfucking bad, you pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You a pussy bitch. You my bitch.
I never told no one.
Go call your mom and tell her that. Come on, get up. Get the fuck up. I'll rock your ass to sleep. You got me fucked up. You didn't say that?
I wasn't there.
You didn't say that? Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my life. Go. Pussy ass bitch.
Well. Pretty shocking, huh? My take is not going to be what you think. Because I saw this on Instagram and everybody was like, whose child is he talking to like this? He is out of order. He is this. He is that. Okay, let's say all that's true. Let's say all of that is true. But the question that I have is, what did that young man say to that coach that sparked that reaction? Because generally speaking, people just don't go there for no reason. Now, you may say, well, he's the adult. He's in charge. That's right, he is. But the problem becomes when the kids don't have respect for the people that are in charge. There are a couple of things I saw from that. It says, you want to be gangster, let's be gangster. So that lends itself that the young man was probably saying some reckless stuff under his breath until he got called on it in your face. Number 2, he said, call your mama. He didn't say call your daddy. What does that mean? In my mind, no daddy's around. Because see, my husband, y'all know my baby. He played football, and he often tells me about the coaches, in high school and college, and even his father. There are certain rules. Because his father was ever present, even though his father was working a lot, he got growed at home. And the worst thing that could have been said, wait till your father gets home. Or let me tell your father about this. But see, because the fathers are not here getting in that ass early on, you have young men talking to other men like they equals. Okay? So let's move it from the boys. Let's move it to the girls. See, again, I love Gen X. Because see, y'all want to talk about your millennials and zennials want to talk about y'all was left to raise yourself. That's some bullshit. Because see, we were too. The latchkey kids. And because our parents were working 2, sometimes 3 jobs, we had the key around our neck. And because our parents couldn't get off, we knew good and damn well, if our parents had to come up to a school about something other than good stuff, because they couldn't even come for the good stuff, but if they had to take off work, we knew asses was going to be kicked. The best we could have hoped for is a cuss it out. So now you got these kids who think they grown, gonna talk to grown-ups like they on the same level. I know that because see, they talk to you like that. They talk to you like that. And then you expect them to come to school and let the teachers and coaches be shit on because that's their job. No. How much disrespect must someone take when we're there to help, when they're there to help your kid? See, what happened was, in my opinion, the young man wasn't ready for the response he got. Now, do I think the coach went a little bit too far? Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. But guess what? That young man was scared out of his freaking mind because he didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing. Well, I didn't say that. Mumbling. I bet he was good and cocky. See, here's another thing, people. You know your kid. You see? Now, listen, I'm going to go ahead and tell you something. Are there some instances that the teachers are raggedy with your kids? Absolutely. But if you're honest, you know your kid. Okay? Case in point. Well, my daughter used to come home up talking about Senor Graham. That was her Spanish teacher. Some of the stuff she used to tell me before I said, okay, let me think about it. But because I knew my kid, when I went to talk to Senor Graham and she gave me the other side of the story, I knew she was telling the truth. Juxtapose that to another situation when my daughter was in California living with her father, and the teacher, who did not have good intentions, tried to tell me my daughter was failing in math. I'm like, no. Now, if you would have said reading, yeah, because she could read, but she didn't like to. But when she said math, I got on a plane from Virginia to California and got to the bottom of it because I know my kid. See, when the parent gets up there with the coach, they probably want to be all indignant. But if you're really honest with it, you know your child was disrespectful to that man. Okay, you ain't got to like what I'm saying to know I'm telling the truth. Because again, even me, again, back what you taught, my daughter knew if I have to come up to that school about something bad, because her job was to go to school and do what they told you to do, keep your pie hole shut, and follow the rules. And if anything's cracking off, you let me know and I'll take care of it. But you keep your mouth, bumping these gums, keep your pie hole shut. And when she thought that she couldn't, no worries, I got it. But see, everybody is outraged about what the coach did. I'm not. Because I guarantee you, that young man went too far. And everybody has a point. See, again, we had teachers would talk to us. They wouldn't cuss us out, but they would get real with us. And I'm grateful that many of them did because, see, we, for the most part, went out to the world and did good stuff. Discipline, self-control. Well, good morning. Thank you for this comment. I don't care what he done. There was no reason to degrade him like that, etc., etc., etc. So let me tell you my take on it. And she said, couldn't have been mine. Hopefully your children you would have raised your children to not disrespect like that. And I'm going to tell you something. The problem is this, in my opinion. Because even with my own daughter, when she got, to smelling herself, as they say, and she gonna step to me like an adult, I said, that's how I'm gonna treat you. It took one time. Same with my husband's father. He said, when he starts smelling himself. See, in my opinion, like the coach said, tell your mama that, not tell your daddy that. Because see, when boys get to a certain age and size, their mothers don't really intimidate them that much, for the most part. Because even my husband said, at a certain point, when his mom would try to come, it would just be like this. So I think it's important to note, if you don't want to be treated like an adult, don't talk to adults as if you were one. And the reason why I found that video so compelling, because I sent it to my father. Now, for those who you don't know, my father had a rocky start. Okay, he was a manager of women in his early years. Okay, but for the past 40, almost 50 years, about at least 40 years, he's been working in placement with young boys. Many of them, he has all these success stories about, how they turn their lives around and stuff like that. And a lot of reasons that my dad he wanted to go into that line of work because he realized he was one of those boys. And my father did not have his father. Even to this day, he don't even know what his father looks like. Never even seen a picture of him. Okay, so that was one of the reasons my dad was called into that ministry, if you will. And I remember, over the course of these years, meeting some of the success stories and all those kind of things. But over the past 10 to 15 years or so, my father was telling me about how these kids were they different. Didn't respect nothing. Because for the most part, they will respect my father because he's the OG. You understand me? And he could speak the language because he had been out in them streets. But in the past 10 or 15 years, I said, Dad, you need to retire. Because from what you're telling me, these kids, I don't want to get a phone call, but then I heard my dad. You understand me? So, because many of the kids who have, either absent parents or shall we say weak ones, who did not lay down the gauntlet early on, they kids start cussing them out, threatening them, maybe even whooping their asses. So when they came, again, not respecting their own parents, when they came to the placement, again, last 10, 15 years, they would try my dad. And my dad had to, meet them where they stood. He didn't put no hands on them. But when they try to come at my dad like that young man, may or may not have mumbled under his breath and threatened my dad said, bring it. Let's go. Let's go. He said, you may win, but you're going to know that you've been through something. So that's my point. See, because the gauntlet was laid early with my husband, with his father, didn't get in no trouble. Now, not to say that you can still get in trouble, but more often, if you have a strong father figure, you are more concerned about having to face them than anything else. So again, yeah. And it's kind of like a few years ago when it was Plano Super Bowl bowling alley, these young girls, and I say young girls because they're legally adults, but they were not drinking age. It went viral because the security guard, they went too far, no doubt. They went too far, no doubt. But what those girls did, talking to these security guards, doing all this kind of stuff, you can't be surprised at the response you get. When all they had to do when they were asked to leave was leave. So yeah, it couldn't have been yours. It couldn't have been mine. Because see, first of all, I know my child. If my child would have said something like that happened, yeah, I would have got it. Because see, I know my kid. And the reason why I know my kid, and just so you know, I talk about me, but her father was active in her life too. Both of us are military. Neither one of us played. Now, sometimes she played us, I ain't lying. But she knew if we had to come up to the school behind some bull crap, it was going to be hell to pay. And we got that from our parents. So, like I said, I'm not, in my opinion, that might have been the first or a few times that young man ever got growed real. And again, like I said, these kids talk to other adults like they're adults because, see, that's how they talk to y'all. See, again, not staying in a child's place. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that we never mumbled under our breath. We didn't talk about our teachers because we sure did. But we sure didn't do it in front of them where they could hear it. So, those are my thoughts. You know, again, listen, there it is evident when so many make excuses for bad behavior. And I think this is a video from a couple of years ago, so he got fired. And when my dad told me about what happened, and the only reason he didn't get fired is because there was video. But what you teaching your kids? Teaching your kids. Come on, I don't got it. Okay. Well, hopefully you would have taught your children better. Again, that's stay in a child's place. Let parents handle it. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.